Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Nummy, Alan, who else we got? Warren, Jimbo, Laurie, Mark, Ranty Flat Earth, Arwin, and The Plain Truth. Good to have you all.
Hello, Alpine.
Your audio is taking a dive there, Nathan.
It's because I'm looking around and doing things. This will only be a shorter show today because I've got a Spanish class with my kid a bit later. So I've rushed through the gap and we'll have a bit of a show and then.
Nathan, stay focused. Come on.
I'm trying.
When you say Spanish class, do you mean Spanish class for you, Nathan, or?
No, for my little kid.
Hablo español.
Sí.
You mean your hija?
Anyway, so yes, I've got a Spanish class after this show finishes.
Do you speak Spanish?
Me? No, not at all.
So Alan has controlled the last hour. Let's gang up on him now. Alan, show us the curve.
Show me the money. Myself and Mr. Musk will take you to see it.
Money.
We'll show you the curve.
How much do you need?
I'd say about
show us your ass.
100 grand.
How much?
100 grand.
Okay, I have to start a GoFundMe. Who's in on it?
You may as well. Everybody else on here is an e-beggar.
Oh, you sarcastic git.
I might start. I've got a GoFundMe, people listening. I'm saving up for egg custards.
Egg custard.
You might want to have Jay Tolan media rubbed out or something there, you know, because he got some
what about
nice
ice cream?
footage, hundreds of miles of flat. So I don't know where you're going with the $100,000 GoFundMe to show your curve. I mean,
That was a joke, Jimbo.
oh, I
don't know
see.
if you remember those.
No, I probably missed out some of that.
Something got lost in translation there, I think.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
laughter.
my bad.
What, the punchline?
Yeah.
Hey, did we do housekeeping yet?
We didn't do housekeeping, although we
let
did
me
get
go on
started off by
mute.
Mark. He asked for any signs of curvature from Alan. That's where this conversation started.
Ah, right.
Come on, Alan. Answer the question.
In the fruit section of the shopping malls, you got bananas. There's curve
Earth
there.
curve. Always Earth curve, Jimbo.
My bad.
Banana Earth.
It only exists in Alan's mind. Wow.
Axial rotation. Any signs of axial rotation? Of the Earth-based variety,
Earth-based
Jimbo.
variety.
Edwin Sarkassian tested for it, and he didn't find any. He had to run for his life. No.
Anybody? Alan? Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Alan.
Sorry, guys, I'm having an egg custard.
Fair enough.
It's the wrong season for ice cream, eh?
What about the
I'd
distance
pay
to
him
the
to
sun?
join
Any evidence of
Edwin
that?
shooting a 50 cal up in the air. Let's send Alan to join Edwin for a test.
Only an idiot would fire a 50 cal in the air.
How come? Why? Because the bullet will come back down and hit you?
Are you aware what velocity the bullet will be doing? Coming back
Well,
down?
we're supposed to have axial rotation moving you and the gun out from underneath that bullet.
How long does the bullet spend in the air?
1 minute and 50 seconds.
And you think it'll land on your head?
If you're at the equator, you should be 32 miles away with the Earth's rotation, axial rotation.
I suggest you go and try it.
Oh, it
Alan,
has been
that's
done by Mr. Edwin Sarkassian. You can go check his video.
Alan, that's well thought out. You don't have an answer for that, do you? Except egg custard.
Don't have
What?
an answer for what? Firing a 50 cal bullet in the air. You should be arrested. You're an absolute
Yeah,
idiot.
it falls straight down. That's right.
No, it doesn't.
That's why you have to take cover. Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, that's why you have to take cover
No, it
when you
doesn't.
shoot straight up. Yeah,
Go
yeah,
and
it
watch the
is.
video. It does not hit him on the head.
Wear a really thick helmet.
Yeah, you've got to be an idiot to do that.
No, it lands about 20 feet away from him in the bushes. You hear it land.
You never see it though, do you?
You hear it?
Can your senses be fooled?
No.
Not in this case. You'd be dead if it hits you on the head, on your head.
How's it going with the camera anyway, Ranty?
Brilliant, thank you.
You fell for that one, Ranty. He was trying to divert.
Diversion.
Obviously.
Oh, are you not trusting our friendship, Ranty?
We don't have a friendship.
I thought we did.
No, not at all, mate.
Me and you on the pier, eating cockles and mussels.
Having an egg custard.
Egg custard for afters before a bit of crab.
Hmm.
Hmm. Come on, then show us some of your new footage.
Next question.
No.
Yeah,
Show us
any
some
evidence-
axial rotation firing bullets in the air.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
There's no distance to the sun.
Would be impossible to measure something that's maybe virtual and really relative to the observer's point of view where it actually is as a virtual object or, something that has no mass.
Well, nobody else want to chase rainbows? Any more for any more?
Chase the sun.
What about evidence of gas pressure without a container?
Nah, never. Not
Really?
in real world. Not in models. Not in physical theory.
I'd like to know where after 100,000, 110,000 feet, it goes from a very low PSI, like 0.0045 PSI and minus 50 degrees, to torr of vacuum. Where's that so-called, transition? Because vacuum is measured in torr. PSI, the positive pressure, it's not measured in torr, it's measured in PSI. When they send up the balloons 100,000 feet, they're measuring PSI at 0.0045. That's not a vacuum. It's not a vacuum measurement. It's a PSI measurement. So where do we go from there to torrs?
Alan, what do you think about the
And torr.
inflatable module on the ISS?
What do I think of what, Numi?
What do you think about the inflatable module on the ISS? You think?
Oh, I've not seen it. You got a link?
Okay, I'll find one.
Do you not think the ISS exists?
The Jiffy Pop Hotel on the side that they're supposed to have blown up and made a hotel room out of it?
I think it exists in a sound studio.
Oh, okay.
But
I
do you
think
think
it exists in
does
a
it seem
pool.
reasonable to you that that an inflatable module could work in space against the vacuum of space?
Out of interest, what do you think that Jaren took a photograph of then?
I don't know what that is. I think that, well, actually, in fact, there's some papers that have shown that they can use maser technology to project holographic-like projection images into the atmosphere.
Wow.
So it could be that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is, but I don't think that it's what they show on the NASA videos with guys floating around on harnesses. I don't think that those two phenomena are linked.
There's no R in NASA.
Did I say? What did I say?
NASA.
I think you're just mishearing me.
I'm
Yeah, I dropped the link. I dropped the link in the side chat there.
Thank you very much. I'll take a look. This is from 2016.
No, it's still up there. I just went with the first one that I saw. I figured you would have heard about this, being such a proponent of NASA's fine work.
Let me take a look. I'll take a look at the NASA.
The NASAR.
Come on, cut the crap. What do you make of this NASA blow up module?
Just having a look. Give me 5 minutes.
Here's a better link. NASA's site.
Thank you. Talk among yourselves.
I think it's for a big batch of space popcorn for like a big party with aliens and stuff. Big Jiffy Pop popcorn batch in there.
What I wonder though is if they can make an inflatable module for the ISS, why can't they make a balloon that can go up to 1 million feet? If they have the material that they can create something that's inflatable within a vacuum, doesn't explode, that's flexible, why don't they use that to make atmospheric balloons that can go higher than 120,000 feet? Doesn't really make sense, because they say that they can only send those weather balloons up so high, but because once the pressure differential becomes so great that there's no material that won't explode against the vacuum. So, but it seems like they've, according to what they're saying, they've defeated that limitation by creating this module. So it doesn't really follow that they wouldn't be able to make balloons that would go higher than that. And I mean, if we could send a balloon up to say 500,000 feet, then there would be no doubt left about whether we could see a curve or not. I mean, we should be able to see it at 120,000 feet. Of course, we can't for some strange reason, but I don't really get it.
Do you understand that the module is in orbit? Like it orbits, which weather balloons do not do.
What?
It is in orbit. The module is in orbit. It's
you believe it's in orbit, so okay.
Okay, so what does that have to do with it? It still has to deal with the negative pressure of the so-called vacuum.
Sure.
Right? And it's inflected in structure that are flexible material. Like, do you not see the problem with that? That if they could create such a device that would operate that way, that they should be able to make a balloon that would do something similar, no?
But then it would
like here on the ground, put this material in a vacuum and suck it all to hell, and it shouldn't break or pop or anything.
Yeah.
They should be able to demonstrate it to us right here. Their magic material.
But it would be too heavy to act as a balloon if they use the same material.
Not too heavy to test in their nice big vacuum chamber and show us.
Well, their primary motivation is not to convince conspiracy.
They still have to test these products, and they still can film them while they're testing them. You can't just say, well, this will work in space. I'd have to put it in a total vacuum and make sure it worked.
Why do you think
all of this stuff or something? Come on, give it a break.
They have to have a working
show, and it's just a belief system. You're reinforcing your own beliefs. Fantasy.
Talking over each other. I can't hear either of you. So it's a waste
well,
of time. This
my microphone
talk
might
one at a time.
And my connection may be shitty. So if my voice is breaking up, just let me know and I'll maybe leave or something, because my internet connection is actually quite shitty. So
perfect.
Just say to me if that happens too much.
Sound perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't anything on your end. It was just talking over, that's all.
Yeah, I realized that.
I was just saying that, if you're going to test the material, you don't need a huge thing. You make a balloon, or, football size, or, put it in a vacuum. You test it. But don't blow up in your vacuum. Good for space. How hard is it to film it and show us? We're paying for it anyway. It's all excuses. Oh, they're not really concerned about us when they're doing this. So bullshit. Come on. It's all propaganda for us. All actors. Anyway.
And look, okay, so here's another thing.
Belief. Barney.
if you look, I'm going to drop this photo. This is the photo of the so-called burst test, which they did in a pool, which is the reverse situation of the stresses that would be on the thing when it was in space. And not even close to the same kind of pressure. I mean, I think that the ISS exists, but it's at the bottom of a swimming pool on some military base somewhere.
Okay, I've had a look. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'm not sure I'd be the first person to open the hatch. What's it made of?
I don't know. It's hard to get they don't seem to want to say exactly what it's made of.
It's supposed to be several layers of different materials.
Yes, it looks multi-layered.
So it's like plastic and aluminum probably. I don't know. In reality, it's probably just going to be a steel tanker inside of that pool.
Flexible things that can expand and remain sealed in space. These are magicians, so we have to have faith. They say it's real and it's up there. We got to believe it, right?
Alan, do you believe that that thing is real?
Yes.
Why?
I can find no reason for them to lie.
But do you think it's possible that they're lying?
It could be.
Okay.
But why? Why would they lie?
Money, 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 money.
But
I think there's a lot of reasons that are not just financial. I think that, one of the motives that I suspect of NASA is that it's about pushing a kind of futurist agenda where by creating all of this illusion that mankind has developed the technology to do these amazing things, that human beings are more willing to accept more change.
Yes.
No, and
That's
Alan.
a social engineering aspect of it, indeed.
If there's a crime that's being committed, a motive is secondary. We first of all have to establish that an actual crime has been committed.
Yeah, well, I'm just speculating. I'm not asserting that is the motive or not.
Yeah. I'm just responding to other conversations that I have. Why would NASA lie to us? Well, motive is secondary. It's whether they have or not. And there's plenty of evidence to show that they have lied to us. Motive is not
People
enough.
in business lie all the time.
Yeah, motive is not enough to establish a fact. It's the evidence of the fact or whether it's a lie or not, and then motive comes into it.
Yeah, and lying is a very common human behavior. People lie all the time. People are always on guard against being lied to.
Yeah.
And there's also
as
That all
possible
depends on
motive.
who you
Look,
deal with and how you conduct yourself, Nami.
people in general are pretty
Overgeneralizing.
anti-war. None of us like war and slaughter. And if NASA is just a front for money that really goes into the American military machine and this, infrastructure, then that could be a reason why they have this fake
But it's a worldwide thing. I mean, I think that what NASA reveals
Yeah, but that's
is that
also an
government
overgeneralization,
are
because there
colluding with
are
each other.
swaths of people out there that do like suffering, to create suffering and genocide out there, unfortunately. And many of them hang in upper circles where they can hide behind power. It's just a fact of humanity, unfortunately. So,
But there's not just NASA in space. There's 72 other agencies. Are they all in on it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's
yeah.
not just the United States interest. I mean, NASA basically demonstrates that there's a global government in place that's colluding to strategic purposes to facilitate the social engineering operation of.
Yeah.
Okay, Numi, let's say that's true. Let's say that's true. So 72 agencies. How many employees between them all?
Who cares?
Not many.
Not as many as
it's
you'd think.
compartmentalized, need to know basis. You should know that.
Give me a wild stab. Give me a number.
Half a dozen each. Six people each.
Six people at NASA.
Yeah. No. You
Thousands.
said
It'll be
about the global
thousands.
conspiracy.
Global, 72 agencies, six people at
Thousands of
each.
people.
Yeah. Why
Well,
not?
I think that it's very hard to. I don't know.
You
It's
can
very
laugh at
hard
that,
to-
Alan.
What's the point in taking guesses at this? The thing is that if it's fake, then these people, the people that we see in the media, are ostensibly actors, right? And
The point I was trying to make there, or illustrate, was if there's 72 agencies, let's say conservatively 1 million people, where are all the whistleblowers?
I don't think there's anywhere close to 1 million people.
Where are all the whistleblowers?
that's
Well,
the
what
case,
about
isn't
all these people that are coming out from the military
That's your guess.
for flat
That's
Earth?
your
Well, there are your
guess, Alan.
whistleblowers
May
right
I
there.
take a moment to
They're
add
just
our
waiting
new
for the right
Stephen
opportunity.
Hawking / Einstein to future stuff? There's a guy out Caltech Outreach who apparently has solved one of the most complex math problems. It happens to be a Bitcoin blockchain. But anyway, he's this new genius that's a cross between Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein, and he's going to be in and out of flat Earth and serving us shit sandwiches in the media and stuff. His name is Spiros Michalis, but anyway, he's the new in the spotlight cross between the now gone, apparently, Stephen Hawking and the permanently gone Albert Einstein. So just
All
a
right,
name
so
to
I've got a
watch
little,
for.
I've got a little tidbit backstory on that because I spoke to him in person at the premiere of Behind the Curve, and I asked him. I said, "Okay, look,
You're falling away.
You totally faded.
You're breaking up.
You roboted out.
we were back." Okay,
Travis, start
is that
again.
any better?
Start with the story again.
Is that
Yeah,
any
you're
better?
back.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
You had an essential point and we all missed it.
No, I didn't get there yet. Anyway, it was after the movie, after Behind the Curve. I talked to Spiro in person, and with him, and I just got tired of his BS. I said, "Okay, look, just give me your best argument for the ball Earth." I said, "I don't want an explanation. I don't want a story. I want your best proof." He said, "Well, just imagine." Just imagine the way the story begins, way back in time, and you wouldn't believe it. I let him go for like 2 minutes. I said, "You're telling me a story." I said, "I want evidence. What do you see?" And he said, "Well," he said, "you have to admit it's kind of magical." Now, I did not have him on camera. I wished I did, so that's all hearsay. But that was this guy. That was his best answer for me.
But equally, Travis, your Bible's a story.
Well,
That's
I'm
a red
calling
herring,
him
and
an
that has
actor.
nothing to do. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, Alan.
He has no clue of
Fact, though,
physics,
isn't it?
and every word out of his mouth is babble and nonsense. And that's what people are going to deal with as, ooh, we might convert him to be a flatty. And he's from academia. Oh, you're not converting this one. He's an agent. Period.
Jimbo, serious question. Sit down. Did all you guys do really badly at school? Is that why you're against intelligence?
See,
No,
that's
I
just
did not.
a sweep, you know. You're saying, Jimbo, did all you. So you're not talking to me, so I won't answer you. All you can answer.
I'm struggling to understand why you're against intelligence.
Yeah, you're struggling, period. And I understand that.
Well, everybody
I
struggles with
did
flat
very
Earth.
well in school.
It's a leading
I did
question.
pretty
Don't
damn
answer the
well at
question.
math and at physics at school, and biology, by the way, and English too.
Did
Was
you,
one of
Owen?
my best.
That's very good. No, I just don't get it. Why you're against intelligence?
Don't answer that question. Nobody's
That's
against
called a
intelligence
straw
here.
man.
It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
total outrage.
I'm against
Nonsense.
counterintelligence.
I actually did have a first-hand witness though standing there with me, so there were 2 people there at the storytelling.
Yeah. Did it have any talking snakes in it?
Yeah, that's a red herring, Alan. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what
It
we're
was a
talking about.
joke,
It's a snake.
Travis. Lighten up. Lighten up.
No, it
It's
wasn't
not a joke
joke.
because no, it's not. Yeah.
It's a sneaky way of arguing.
God, you guys are so uptight.
Good man. Yeah, nice diversion.
That's what workouts do. Mental workouts. You get tight.
Alan, show us the curve.
Give me 100k, I'll take you there.
Okay. 100k. Give me your bank details and I'll put it into it.
Thank you. I'll do a GoFundMe. I'll ask Ranty. He's got some good tips.
I want all your bank details.
Or Riley. Put it in Riley's account. We'll get some ice creams.
No way. Not in Riley. In yours. I'll give you
Well,
100k.
Well, funnily enough, you've all paid for Riley's master's degree. Well done.
Yeah. And we'll all pay for your retirement money that you're lapping on.
I'd love to take you to the curve, and we could have an egg custard when we got there. Or perhaps if we're pushing the boat out.
No, that
How would
means
you
no
do that?
Glad
custard.
to see you're against continued education and people, wanting to further themselves, Alan, I
What?
think anyone moving forward, like you just said something about, Riley's, furthering himself academically a bit for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. He wanted to be a business manager in a restaurant or whatever skill or trade.
Jimbo,
What would be wrong with, going forward with knowledge, new skills? You're
Jimbo,
saying it's no good. Okay, stay ignorant.
Jimbo, I put 25 quid in. I'm getting my money's worth. I'm going to piss myself when I read that paper.
Well, whatever, I mean, you don't know. You have a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen in the future.
What name did you put it in?
I've read
It's not
this.
really about that.
You have a
Jared.
prediction,
What name did you
Alan?
donate?
You have a prediction on what's going to happen?
What
I
name
do.
did you
I've read
donate
the
under,
intro
Alan?
text to Anthony's GoFundMe page. There's 23 grammatical errors on it. I'm going to die laughing.
What name did you donate under, Alan?
Does it matter? Anthony knows.
Does he?
Yeah.
We've talked about it on Skype.
Okay.
So I've got my 25 quid and a signed copy.
Yeah. You a big Riley fan these days?
Tony's okay. At least he tries.
So you Adrian Swain?
And he likes ice cream, right?
Why? What, are you against Riley? Because he doesn't agree with you? He does bully you a bit.
Really?
I
John
think he
Sharp,
does,
is that
yes.
you?
I think he does bully you, Owen. Yes, I think he does.
Oh shit. I was being sarcastic. But yeah, I know.
Well, you did rage quit on the weekend, I heard.
No, not really. I just hung up because I knew if I was going to hang around, it's just going to be no use. And then the very next hangout, because then the hangout was cut off. And then the very next hangout, I was there immediately. So.
Anyway,
And
why are you
it
letting
changed.
me
So
take charge?
that's all I wanted. I would just wanted to drop the shit, That's all.
Okay, over to you, Mark.
Mark,
What?
what have you discovered? I really liked your historical comparison with me and Riley, by the way.
Yeah, that's because you were the hero.
I know. Love it.
Well, not even the hero, the martyr that gets burnt to death.
Yeah, that's the nice part about it. Let's hope
Hey,
it doesn't
listen,
come to that.
But for everybody that's listening, Michael Savicius is my hero because he had a thought that was against everybody else and he was prepared to die for it. Thought control is immoral. And for anybody that insists that my opinion is right, deserves, well, I don't know, what do they deserve? Everybody should have,
Well,
everybody
they
should
clearly
have
haven't
freedom.
heard my opinion, that's for sure.
Well, at most a duel, basically. That's how I would see it. But yeah, burning someone at the stake, that's just like a criminal conviction and that doesn't make any sense. So that's...
Yeah, but Michael Savicius was burnt at the stake because his opinion was different than the majority.
Yeah, that's sick. It's wrong.
And that's why I put you as the hero in the video.
Yeah, I thank you, and I hope I don't get burned to the stake, If somebody
Have you
wants
ever
to
heard of-
duel me for it, okay.
Well, Arwen, you are
Classical
from an area
rules.
that was all part of the
10-step pace.
Reformation. Had you ever heard of Michael Servetus before that video?
Sorry, you broke up a little to me.
Have you heard
Say
of him
again?
before?
Had you ever heard of a character called Michael Servetus?
I'm hearing noise. Zoom.
No, maybe you could give us the broad strokes of why he was held accountable for heresy.
Okay, the Protestant Reformation was against the Catholic Church, but not long into the Reformation, there was also divisions within the Protestant Reformation, and people started to make their own mind up about things. But very strong characters such as Calvin couldn't cope with other people concluding different opinions than him, even though the common enemy was the Catholic Church. Now, within the flat Earth community, the common
Objection, prejudice.
Okay, can I carry on anyway? Objection noted. Within the Protestant Reformation, it became an internal struggle. We hate the Catholics, but we also have an opinion that's strong enough to fight for and will kill you if you don't accept our position. And that's the way the Protestant Reformation sort of fragmented. So that now that we have Presbyterians, Methodists, Anglican, Baptists, because we can't work it out ourselves. And then we're prepared to kill other people because you don't believe what I believe. And I strongly feel...
They were that age.
I
Not so much.
strongly feel that Riley is guilty of this. He can't cope with other people concluding that gravity or eggs floating in a salt solution can have another opinion than he has. And that's the reason why I made the video.
All right, just a point of clarification. I would information a bit differently than Mark. I wouldn't say Calvin was as trivial and trite as Mark presents it. It wasn't that John Calvin couldn't stand having a rival or a competitor in terms of what he thought. I do not condone the behavior of John Calvin or the Catholic Church whenever they burned heretics at the stake or whatever, but it was simply the mindset of the time in that religious order that heresy of the magnitude that they considered Michael Servetus to purport was a serious issue. It wasn't just a trivial matter. It was a doctrinal issue that of the highest accord. So it's a little bit more, I think, substantial than simply saying John Calvin didn't like having any adverse challenge.
Travis, I totally disagree with you. To burn somebody at the stake because they have a different opinion than you, to burn somebody at the stake.
That's not what it was. That's not what it was because
But there's
John
more
Calvin
at stake.
had
There's a
different
political scenario at play, basically, because
Servetus
of the Reformation.
Okay, well, just
Arwen, can you just back away a wee minute, please? Travis, Servetus produced a pamphlet against Calvin's theology, and because of that, he was burnt at the stake.
I'd have to. Do you have a reference for that I can look up?
Check it. I don't have it at my fingertips, but check it.
I did. I taught a course on church history, and that wasn't the history I came across.
Servetus was burned at the stake. Is there any justification for that?
No. Mark, did you not hear what I said? I said I do not condone what John Calvin did. I'm saying that his response was a grave doctrinal issue. Do you know what doctrine Servetus was denying?
Yes, I do, but it was not justifiable.
What was it?
The death was not justifiable.
I didn't say that it was. Did you not hear me? I'm going to say it again. I didn't say that it was justified, Mark. I don't agree with that behavior. I'm asking you what you understand the doctrinal difference to be. What was it?
Servetus denied infant baptism, hellfire, and the Trinity. That was the three main issues.
All right. Well, the Trinity was the one that was more substantial than the others, but yes, okay.
And does anybody deserve to be burnt at the stake because they deny the Trinity?
Are
No,
you
but
asking me
it
a
is
question for
of
the
that
fourth time?
political age.
Owen, please back down, please. Say that
Are
again,
you
Travis.
are you asking me that question for the fourth time?
You said no earlier.
I didn't get your answer then. Okay, what was the answer to that question that I asked four times?
I said that John Calvin was not justified in putting Servetus to death.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we're not in contention about this subject.
No, I tried to make that clear from the very beginning. I thought that my preface before I got into my point was to say that I disagreed with that.
You know what? You guys got to do this on your own because I don't think many people are interested in this topic.
Come on, Nami. We always talk about side issues.
No, mate.
Really,
Listen.
you guys are arguing about fictional stories. Okay, you're arguing about soap operas.
No, mate. Let's just back up a bit. From 300 AD to 1500 AD, the Catholic Church taught that they were supreme, they had the ultimate authority, and then we had the Protestant Reformation.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, and out of that there was a fragmentation. Now, where I am at the moment is that we've had centuries of heliocentrism. We're coming out of that now to working out flat Earth, but we have to be careful not to fragment or not to beat each other because we have a different flavor of flat Earth, and that's what I see in this particular debate.
John Calvin.
Mark, are you suggesting that Tony is a totalitarian theocracy?
Well done. That's a great question. I'll leave your question. I'm not going to fall for that. Oh, you're a character. No, Nathan's channel is the flat Earth debate. Let's stick to that. But don't let flat earthers start bitching against each other about silly little details. That's all I'm saying. That's my position.
In the interest of
I'm
balance,
just saying
though,
that Christian theology and the history of these disagreements and vicissitudes of the various schisms of Christianity, that's all a side issue. That's all an aside.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it though, Nami? Because the last couple of conferences that I've watched, one of the reasons they're saying that the flat Earth is a secret is that they're hiding land and hiding God.
Well, I don't agree with that. I don't like this hiding God argument. I don't think it makes any sense. I mean, I don't think people didn't seem to stop believing in God when they thought the earth is a globe. I don't see what it has to do with the idea of creation either way. And
the Catholic Church stands back in solidarity. They didn't fragment, but the Protestant Reformation did fragment. That's all my point. And I allow you to draw your own conclusions, but when somebody insists that my conclusion is correct, and then they bring it up week after week after week, like Riley does over this egg suspended in salt water solution.
hey, True Seeker.
It's just a sidetrack. It's a nonsense. It's
Hey,
a
True
red
Seeker.
herring,
How you
and
doing?
I'm fed up of listening to it.
Hey, True
So
Seeker.
if they're not hiding God,
Let's say hello to our new guest. Sorry, Alan.
Okay.
Hello, True Seeker. How you doing?
I think it's just management, Alan.
Nami.
mismanagement on a grand scale.
I want to say hello to the new guest. Sorry, guys. Hello, True Seeker. Good to have you.
Hello.
Good to have you.
Hi, Truth Seeker. How's the gardening going?
I don't do much gardening.
Oh, I thought you were a gardener. Sorry.
I actually was quite interested at what Mark said. I think you got all caught up in the brushes, but I actually have a theology degree and I studied moral conflict in my BA thesis. So roughly the idea is people get stuck in their own positions and they don't agree different viewpoints. So I have a bit of history to what Mark was trying to say, but I guess you got carried away with the particular details too much there.
That's fine. Clarify if I've got any mistakes. I'm just talking about freedom of thought. That if you have a thought that's contrary to mine, you don't deserve to be burnt at the stake.
Yes, and I agree with that. From my viewpoint, when you started talking about the historical details, that's not really actually even necessary for the argument that you're making. So you kind of got carried away about historical details that do not really matter. One of the guys that I read was a Russian literature guy called Mikhail Bakhtin. And his point was, roughly speaking, something like this. You have a belief system, and in each belief system, you have a number of dogmas. And those are either correct or incorrect, but they are things you believe in. And so you have a list. Let's use Christianity as an example. You have the triune God, and then Christ died, and all those things. And then you start adding more and more things. And then you come to creationism and worship style and things like that. And the point is, the longer you make the list of, I believe in those things, and all Christians have to believe like I do on every detail, you create a problem. So whatever your belief system is, you need to like be very careful about what you make the central argument, and you let the details pass, because you create sticking to your viewpoint. Everyone has to agree with me on all details.
Shout out to the dodo.
Okay, so has anyone actually talked about why they created the globe? Is that what this thing's about?
No, it's about freedom of choice, freedom of thought.
Isn't the title why they lied, or why NASA lied, or why? Big important question of this.
Well, yeah, that's motive, isn't it? And that comes after the fact of they
we
lied.
already know. We've determined that there is a lie. So now let's get to the motive. Everyone here know there's a big fat lie. Now it's time to get to the motive.
The motive is to create a unified narrative. The truth is that they're not hiding secret knowledge. They're hiding that they don't know. Nobody has the answers to these big questions. But that if
how do you know that? Are you the authority figure? Wow, how did you find this? This is a huge discovery. They're not hiding anything else. Wow.
Well, you can extrapolate it from their own testimonies. So
I'm saying that nobody knows what the stars are. Nobody knows what the planets are. The sun is, how it works. But in order to create a sense of strong authority, people who have had the authority are always the people who have the authority over the explanation to these big questions. The question of what the universe is fundamentally. So in order to,
mysticism.
I think they created the globe as for a literate once the population became literate, the kind of the sort of comprehensivity of the answers that would be required for people to have some sort of unifying narrative that everyone could at least be convinced of on some level. That's really the underlying motive, is just to create basically a religion that can encompass all other beliefs.
So control, it doesn't have.
It's religion based on mysticism.
Yes, that's
what I'm saying. It's management. In order to control
but that's
people's
the
lives,
definition of mysticism. It's the foundation.
You need to get them into a grand unifying narrative so that they all feel that they have a place in this narrative. They all basically acquiesce to some sort of larger system of knowledge which even their own cultural beliefs and individual beliefs can be subsumed within.
TV a control method?
Part of it.
It's an influencing method. It's not full control, but it's certainly influence.
None of it is control, because ultimately we have a choice to believe it or not. It's massive influence, and it's the creation of a grand narrative, right?
But it will influence some, and that will influence the masses. Basically, it will.
There's no control.
It will integrate itself culturally. It always does.
So Numi, where's the central narrative?
The central narrative is the narrative is things like the globe, or the body of science, so called the the illusion of there being authority over, and yeah, the illusion of authority over the big questions and these big subjects.
But why the illusion of the globe? I mean, most people
I know
don't
why.
even care.
It promotes
Because
false
it's a grand
scarcity.
unifying narrative
False scarcity.
that can encompass these other belief systems, right? Like all the other religions manage to acquiesced to the globe belief system, and while still maintaining their own individual doctrines. So it's a container for other belief systems.
But what's
Hey,
the,
what is
what's the
the most
disadvantage?
Pardon
what's
me?
the most fundamental aspect of economics? Supply and demand.
But
What if there's an
I
infinite
want to hear
supply? What if
first.
there's an infinite supply? What will that do to their economic model? Will we all be poor then? If there's an infinite supply of everything, will we still be poor? Will we be sovereign then? Maybe we'll get our sovereignty back.
Are we poor? That's a relative term. I mean, it's affluence that creates poverty. Anyways,
Yeah,
Alan, what were you saying?
what I'm trying to get at is most people don't even realize that we're living in a modern slavery system. They don't realize the debt-based banking system.
I think a lot of people realize that. I think a lot of people realize
people
that
are
more
slowly
than
catching on. That knowledge has been out there for almost 20 years. 15 years at
the
least.
knowledge has
So
been out there for as
slipping
long
through in the
but
sub-mainstream.
that knowledge gets supported by the globe. Even someone like me who had that knowledge for 20 years could go, well, you know what? We live on a spinning ball. You know, we're not finding any more jungles or any more forests. You know what? Maybe the price of timber should exponentially increase. You know,
But
there's a
that's
limited
because
supply.
it's not
Once you
entangled with
realize
it, but
their
they are
model is
working on
bogus,
it with their alien connection and all that stuff. So
it goes much further than that. There's the scarcity, the idea of scarcity. Yes, that's another form of social management. I mean, that's why they're lying about the global population being 7 billion people. Right? We don't even have any clue how many people are on the earth. They can easily just lie to us about that. We're just used to what we're perceiving around us as being the population. And so we have no way of personally apprehending the truth about such matters. Right? But clearly, there's not some sort of incredible resource shortage. The resources are continually being available despite all of the exploitation of them.
What I'm saying is the globe promotes a false scarcity, and it always supports them in their financial control models. So not only are they controlling the science, they're controlling the finances, and it's all about controlling our daily lives. They never give us enough. They're always keeping us on the treadmill. Chase that carrot. Chase that carrot.
Right. Yeah. Called management.
So is your argument based on the infinite plane because you're talking about there not being that much scarcity as we believe?
Well,
So
here's an example of, quote, scarcity in what I call supply-side democracy. Cigarettes, we all know what they are. People don't understand when I explain you can be smoking cigarettes from 1970, packaged and stored underground in humidity and temperature controlled environment. And they were packaged and priced way back when. And it's how many years later? And you're smoking cigarettes that are from the 70s. In one day, California can produce enough wine and alcohol, beer, to supply Canada for a year.
Yeah.
So we have like trade restrictions because, again, we couldn't compete with one day's production of California. Our nation's beer and wine production could not match what California can produce in one day.
Jimbo, do you know how business works?
Absolutely. It's called trade deals.
Amazing. So, Numi, what would be the disadvantage of the globe over the flat plane?
Well, like I say, I think it's about creating the illusion of knowledge, right? It's about creating the illusion of, in order to facilitate a sense of there being an authority that can subsume all other types of previous authority, like religious authorities. So it's like
managing cattle, dumbing down the masses.
Like, hey, I'm still talking. Okay, they claim they know how much the stars weigh and what their compositions are, and exactly they have all this incredible detailed knowledge about things that are totally unverifiable, totally unfalsifiable claims, right? And it's that kind of pretense of knowledge of things that are not knowable or outside of our reach of what we could measure or apprehend that creates a kind of an authority structure over reality itself, right? Whereas if they were to acknowledge how mysterious the situation really was, it would cause people to want to explore these things themselves, which would fracture the grand narratives.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, you know exactly what to do. You've probably done it already. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!